Why so few Americans live in Indiana. The truth behind Indiana's population challenge. On the surface, Indiana seems like a great place to live. Beautiful landscapes, a rich history, and an economy anchored by agriculture and manufacturing. So why is it that so few Americans choose to call Indiana home? In this video, we're going to explore why Indiana's population growth has lagged behind other states, and uncover some surprising truths about what makes Indiana both unique and, for some, less appealing as a place to live. Stick around, and let's dive deep into the factors shaping the Hoosier state's population story. Let's start by looking at some of the numbers. As of the 2020 census, Indiana's population stood at around 6.7 million people, making it the 17th most populous state in the US. On paper, that doesn't seem too bad, right? However, when we dive deeper into the data, we start to see the issue. Between 2010 and 2020, Indiana's population growth rate was just 4.7%, compared to the national growth rate of 7.4%. States like Texas, Florida, and Arizona saw massive population booms, but Indiana didn't. And it's not just about growth, it's about where people are moving. According to recent data, Indiana ranked 29th in net migration, meaning more people are leaving or not coming in than the national average. So why is Indiana struggling to attract or retain people? Let's break it down. Indiana is located in the Midwest, a region often referred to as flyover country. This term, though controversial, reflects a larger national bias. Many Americans see the Midwest as less exciting, and when it comes to relocating, states like Indiana aren't at the top of most people's lists. Why? It comes down to several geographic and economic factors. First, Indiana lacks significant geographic appeal. The state is largely flat, with no mountains or oceans, making it less attractive to those who want dramatic landscapes or outdoor activities. States like Colorado, California, or even neighbouring Michigan, with its access to the Great Lakes, tend to draw more people due to their natural beauty. Secondly, the job market in Indiana plays a huge role. While Indiana has a strong industrial and agricultural economy, it's not seen as a hub for tech or finance, the sectors that have driven population booms in places like Texas, North Carolina, and California. While the state does have some prominent employers, particularly in manufacturing, it lacks the fast-growing industries that attract young professionals and entrepreneurs. In the 21st century, people are more likely to move for jobs in tech, healthcare, or finance, and Indiana's economy, which remains heavily reliant on traditional industries, can be seen as limiting for those seeking cutting-edge careers. Wages in Indiana also play a part in the state's slow population growth. The median household income in Indiana is about $62,000, which is below the national average. While Indiana's cost of living is lower than in many states, the perception that better wages and job opportunities are elsewhere still discourages people from moving there. A major point in favour of Indiana is its affordability. The state ranks highly on several lists for cheap living, 10th on Forbes and 15th on Yahoo's lists of affordable states. The cost of living in Indiana is 10% lower than the national average, with food, healthcare and transportation costs all under the US median. Most notably, housing costs are 22% below the national average, which makes Indiana an affordable option for home buyers. However, there is some discrepancy in the data. While Rocket Mortgage lists the median home price at $186,000, Zillow reports the figure as $232,000. Despite this affordability, quality of life challenges keep Indiana from becoming a more popular destination. US News & World Report ranked Indiana 29th overall in its ranking of US states, with two major factors pulling the state down: healthcare and environmental quality. Indiana ranks 43rd in healthcare, primarily due to poor access to medical services and low quality care. The state also ranks last, 50th, in the natural environment category, largely due to high levels of pollution and subpar air and water quality. Indiana also faces a significant brain drain problem, with many young, educated workers leaving the state after completing their education. Indiana's public universities, including Indiana University and Purdue University, are well regarded and attract many out-of-state students. However, a 2022 study showed that Indiana ranked 39th in the country for retaining college graduates. This is a huge issue because young, educated workers are key to driving economic growth. Many graduates from Indiana universities end up leaving the state for cities like Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, where they perceive more opportunities in both their personal and professional lives. On the K-12 education level, Indiana struggles with underfunded public schools, particularly in rural areas. While the state has some excellent schools, especially in affluent suburbs, the quality of education can be uneven. This can make Indiana less attractive to families who prioritize top-tier education for their children. Indiana's weather is another deterrent. The state experiences cold winters with plenty of snow, and while some people enjoy seasonal changes, the long, harsh winters can be a deal breaker for others. Compared to the sunny, warm climates of states like Florida or Arizona, Indiana's weather doesn't always appeal to people looking to relocate. Cultural perceptions play a part too. Indiana is known for being a socially conservative state, which can be a deterrent for some people. The state has often made headlines for its policies on social issues such as LGBTQ+ rights, abortion access, and religious freedom laws. For example, in 2015, Indiana passed the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which many criticised as potentially allowing discrimination against LGBTQ+ individuals. This kind of legislative history can deter more progressive or liberal individuals from moving to the state. Infrastructure is another area where Indiana faces challenges. Roads, public transportation, and internet access are all key factors that influence where people want to live, and Indiana has some notable challenges in these areas. Outside of Indianapolis, public transportation options in Indiana are limited. This can be a problem for people who prefer urban living and don't want to rely on cars for transportation. Other states with more robust transportation networks tend to attract residents who are used to city living. On the plus side, Indiana's housing market is much more affordable than in states like California or New York. According to Zillow, the median home value in Indiana is around $223,000, which is well below the national average. However, affordable doesn't always mean more appealing. Many of the homes available in Indiana are in rural areas or small towns, which may not be attractive to younger, more urban-oriented buyers. Additionally, while Indianapolis has seen some gentrification and urban renewal in recent years, it still lacks the cool factor of cities like Portland, Oregon, or Nashville, Tennessee, where the real estate booms have been driven by young, creative professionals moving in. While Indiana may have its struggles, it's important to note that there are efforts underway to change the state's population story. Indiana's leaders are aware of the issues holding the state back, and they are taking steps to attract more people to live and work in the Hoosier state. In recent years, Indiana has made some strides in becoming more tech-friendly. The state is home to Tech Point, an initiative aimed at making Indianapolis a tech hub. Additionally, Indiana has seen growth in the life sciences and healthcare sectors, and cities like Fort Wayne are attempting to revitalize their downtown areas to make them more attractive to young professionals. Indiana is also investing in its quality of life. Programs like Regional Cities Initiative have been designed to fund projects that make Indiana cities more appealing places to live. Think parks, bike paths, and cultural districts. These efforts are aimed at retaining talent and making the state more attractive to new residents. Indiana is also trying to draw businesses and residents with tax incentives. The state has a relatively low cost of living and no estate or inheritance tax, which could appeal to retirees. Additionally, Indiana has been proactive about keeping property taxes low, which has been a selling point for people considering moving to the state. So, why do so few Americans live in Indiana? It's a combination of factors: geographic, economic, cultural, and lifestyle driven. While Indiana offers affordable living and a quieter pace of life, it struggles to compete with states that have more robust economies, diverse job markets, and urban lifestyles that appeal to today's mobile, career-driven population. But with ongoing efforts to boost its tech sector, improve its cities, and retain its talent, Indiana may just be on the verge of a new chapter.